So did you have time to review the previous session?
Yes, I have done.
Yes.
I've done.
Yes, yes.
The say hello, Bester.
Hello.
Hi, how are you? I thought you're not here.
Yeah, I'm here. Thank you very much.
Okay. I hope you're fine and not sleep deprived again.
Yeah, thank you very much. Happy Teacher's Day.
Thank you. Happy Teacher's Day to you too, to both of you, because I
Thank
know both of you are teachers too. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you. Okay, the first one is compare.
Yes.
Compare to. Compare with.
Yes.
I don't know I get it well or not. Compare to when we want to compare two things that have the same points.
Not
like
same.
For example,
Not the same, Shirin. Similar. Not the same, but similar. Similarities. Yes, there are similarities. Yes.
When we want to talk about the similarity, for example, similarities when, for example, compare medicine to sport physiology. There are some similarity between them.
Very good. Similarities. There are some similarities between them. And Shirin, pronounce compare, not compare. Okay? Okay, compare. Compare. Okay. Go on.
And we use compare with when there is no similarity, like when you compare medicine with engineering.
Yes, when there are differences. When we want to refer to the differences, we use compare with. Yes.
Some differences. No, yes. And the next one is an expression to hold a candle to someone or something.
Yes.
When there are different between two type of things. For example, this car cannot hold a candle to BMW.
Yes. Shirin, when there are differences, not different. Okay? Different is the adjective, difference is the noun. When there are differences, yes, very good. Go on.
And the next one, we talked about future perfect,
yes,
and we used a future perfect when you mentioned the time in the future and you talking about the end of the process in that time in the future.
Yes.
And for example, we will have been in Australia for a year by next year this time.
Okay.
Or we can say tomorrow at 11 will have been, for example, landed.
Will have landed, not will have been landed. We will have landed. But we use the preposition by with the time. For example, by 9 o'clock, not at 9 o'clock. You're not predicting the future. Yes, there's a difference. You don't have to always mention this time. Sometimes the time is implied. But when you want to use future perfect, you use by. Let me type it. By plus the time. For example, by 9 a.m. tomorrow. تا اون موقع. By 9 p.m. Yes. Like, for example, by this time next year, I will have been 30. سال دیگه این موقع 30 سالم تموم میشه. For example. Okay. Okay, Shirin, do you understand this sentence now? Most unusually, the project will have been... can you see the screen, by the way? Okay.
Yes.
So, most unusually, the project will have been cheap to build.
Cheap to build? No.
Future
The
perfect. Will plus
like,
have plus been.
mhm. No.
You don't understand it
No.
now?
No.
Okay. Besat, how about you?
چه جمله؟
همون
This
جمله
one,
قبلی است.
the one you asked about. And I
Mhm.
said that future perfect, which
Has
is
been
ha-
to be.
will have been cheap to build, yes. I highlighted this sentence. Can you see it?
Right.
The project will have been
Cheap to build.
cheap to build.
Yes. And the timing is here in July. They're talking about July. July is in the future. July hasn't come yet. So we're talking about the
So
future.
it is going to predict something about building building the project, which is about the cost of that project, which will be cheap in a certain time in future.
Yes, by a certain time in future. Not
By a
yes.
certain time in future.
From now that they're doing this, they're working on this project, by the time it's finished, it will have been cheap to build. It will have been cheap
Yes.
to build. And you know, Shirin, I don't know if you, I'll explain, and then if you don't understand it, Shirin, just ask, okay? So sometimes when you say something in a tense, it doesn't mean that you cannot say that thing using another tense in grammar. It just depends on your point of view. Okay, if you're predicting, you want to emphasize on the prediction point of this project and stuff, then you can use just simple future. It will be cheap. It will be cheap. If you're just talking about the cost and you're predicting it. But if you want to just emphasize on the fact that by the time it's finished, which is July, which is next July, the cost won't be much compared to similar projects, then you can use future perfect. It doesn't mean that you cannot use another tense. It's just because the author wants to emphasize on the completion of all these tasks by the month of July, which is in the future. Just that. That's at least my understanding of this. Because I searched for this, and unfortunately, I don't have access to good websites which provide you with answers. I mean, there are websites like Yahoo Answers, in which people, experts in language, sometimes experts in language, help you understand some stuff. But unfortunately, Yahoo is shutting down, and I only had access to word reference, and I couldn't get good answers. So I just had to go through the sentences and think about it. That's my understanding of it. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome, dear. And there's another thing. Bezat, you ask if we can start the sentence with nonetheless. Let me share this. Okay. Okay, can you see this website?
Yes.
Okay. See, there are a lot of sentence examples with nonetheless. And I searched about this, and they said that when nonetheless is an adverb, you can use the sentence. You can start the sentence with nonetheless. You don't have to always have it in the middle. But I just went through some of the examples in which nonetheless started the sentence, like this one, like the fourth one. Nonetheless, it appears arrogant to have made up your mind before you've read all the evidence. Okay? Or this one. Shaking and terrified, nonetheless, Tyler is still adamant he is the man to put things right. Although these sentences start with nonetheless, hello?
Yes.
I said you're not there. I thought you're not there. Although these sentences start with nonetheless, it seems that the speaker must have said things before they say this. Because, you know, if they just want to talk about, for example, Tyler in this sentence and say that they're adamant They don't have to use nonetheless. Nonetheless means that they've said things before. Okay? Do you get what I mean? Hello?
No.
No. Okay. پس بذارید فارسیشو میگم. ببینید شما سوالتون این بود که nonetheless میتونه اول جمله باشه یا همش باید وسطش باشه. چیزی که من سرچ کردم منبع خاصی پیدا نکردم. سوالات دیگران بود توی سایت های مختلف مثل کورا و ورد رفرنس که اینو پرسیدن و بقیه هم جواب دادن که بله میتونه، چون ادورب و گراماتیکلی نمیتونه ایرادی داشته باشه. اما خب سرچ کردم توی سنتنس اگزامپل هایی که nonetheless ابتدای جمله بود، مثل اینجا که میبینید. ببینید اکثرا که وسط جمله است، یه سری موارد اول جمله است. خب وقتی این موارد رو میخونید، چون nonetheless یعنی با این حال، بخواید ترجمهش کنید یعنی با این حال، موارد رو که میخونید مثل این مورد nonetheless it appears arrogant to have made up your mind before you've read all the evidence. یعنی با این حال به نظر خیلی arrogantه که شما بخواید قبل از اینکه همه شواهد رو بخونید مطالعه کنید تصمیمتون رو بگیرید. خب این nonetheless اینجا برای این اومده، به نظر من برداشت من اینه که حتما قبلش یه چیزی طرف گفته، وگرنه چه لزومی داره که nonetheless این وسط باشه. حالا ممکنه این جمله رو یه جمله خاص و مرتب مشخصی قبلش نبوده باشه، یه بحثی بوده، مثلا یکی صحبت کرده، من حرفامو میزنم تموم میشه، شما میخواید در ادامه حرفای من حرف بزنید. مثلا من میگم لزومی نداره آدم همه اوییدنس ها رو بخونه قبل از اینکه تصمیم گیری کنه. بعد شما میخواید یه صحبتی بکنید بر اساس حرفای من. جمله شما اینجوری شروع میشه nonetheless it appears arrogant to blah blah. حالا جمله شما بر اساس حرفای منه، در ادامه و در تکمیل حرفای منه، برای همین هم nonetheless رو شروع کرده و یعنی نمیتونه اول بحث باشه. اول جمله پس میتونه، حالا برداشت من هست بر اساس مثال هایی که خوندم، اول جمله میتونه باشه nonetheless، اما به این معنا نیست که این جمله اولین جمله یک بحثی درش شده. اصلا امکان پذیر نیست، منطقی نیست. حالا باز اگه یه موردی پیدا کردید که نه nonetheless واقعا ابتدا بود و قبلش هیچی نبود، حتما بگید که بخونم. اوکی؟
بله بله.
Okay, thank you for asking the question. And there's something else I wanted to share. This part of Google, I don't know if you're familiar with this. The pronunciation part, this section. Oh, sorry, you cannot see this. Can you see it?
No.
Yes.
No, okay. Let me share it again. Stop the share and share this website. Okay, can you see this? A page in Google?
Yes.
Okay. For example, you want to know how to pronounce Pakistan in English. You just write this, you type this, how to say, and then a space, and then the word that you want the website to pronounce for you. I don't know if you can hear it, but you click on this small speaker, excuse me.
Pakistan.
Can you hear it? Hello?
No, can you? No.
Okay. Well, you can try it later, okay? But instead of Pakistan, you can put the word, for example, injury. The good point about it is that you see a lip in here, a mouth. When they pronounce it, you can look at the mouth and see how it moves. And there is even this button that you can click on, and it makes it slower. They pronounce it more slowly,
Injury.
and then you can pay attention to the movement of the lips and see how it moves when the word is pronounced. Okay, try it sometime. Okay, so let's go back to the review. You were saying, Shireen, what happens next?
Yes. The next one is achievement. It's a noun, and when you make an effort, a lot of effort, and you are succeeded, we can say achievement.
Yes, you succeed. You can. Yes, there's an achievement. You gain something. Yes.
Yeah.
Go
The
on.
next one is supposedly.
Yes, very good.
It's an adjective.
Yes.
It's an adverb.
Yes.
And it means apparently. But I looked it up, and the meaning was used when saying what many people say or believe
Yes.
is true, especially when you disagree with them.
Yes, that's what I mentioned too. Yes,
Yes,
exactly.
The next one is balloon.
Balloon, yes.
Balloon. It's a verb. When something suddenly become larger in amount, and the synonym is explode.
Yes, becomes. When something becomes. Yes, very good.
The next one is an expression to come with a string attached.
Yes, that's strings, plural, strings, to come with strings attached, yes.
To come with strings attached when you have someone or some organization give you something and some facilities, but it's not free. It's a trap.
Yes, very good.
For example, mortgage for buying house comes with strings attached.
Very good, yes.
The next one is development. Development have a lot of meanings.
Has, yes.
Meanings. Has a lot of meanings, but for houses and offices, it means a group of buildings, that all of them are the same, and they have built together in this same place of land. Like
sure, not they have built. No, not they. They have been built together. They have been built. Passive. Or they have been built by just one person, one contractor. Not just one person, but one company. Like Maskan Mehr development. Sharon, do you watch the news in English? Like BBC, VOA, news in English? No? Bezat, how about you?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Have you heard the word development in the news?
No.
You must have. Maybe you just don't remember. For example, the news anchor is reading the news and they say, okay, blah, blah happened in Iran. In another development, the president said, blah, blah. In another development. That's very common.
No.
That's very commonly used in English. It means event. On the news, the word development means event. And in Persian news...
Maybe I've heard that,
yes.
because, you know, it is one of the words that we use a lot in medicine. Maybe I thought that it means, you know, the way that we use in medicine.
What does it mean in medicine?
For example, children development.
Growth,
or,
growth?
Yeah, growth development, yes. Or a comprehensive center for growth and development.
No, it doesn't mean that. In the news, even in Persian news, I've seen that. I just remember it from recent years that on Persian news they say it in Farsi, در رویدادی دیگر, something happened. They translate it, I think, because I don't believe they used to say this in the past, like 10 years ago. Okay. Thank you very much. What's next, Shirin?
The next one is found. Found. It's noun.
Yes.
And an amount of money that is collected for a special purpose.
Yes.
For particular purpose.
Yes.
The next one is contract. In here is the verb.
Yes.
To sign a contract.
Yes, very good.
It's when you sign a an agreement and a contract, we can use a contract as a verb.
Yes, but don't we have contract in medicine?
Yes, we use it a lot.
What does it mean? It means something else, right?
Contract means, for example, when we are talking about, you know, for example, the function of muscles, we can say the muscles will contract together. انقباض عضلات, contract.
Yes, very good. Thank you. Does it mean catch too? To catch a disease?
Contract. Yes, contract a disease. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So it does. I just remember something. I thought maybe it was wrong, so they say that. Yes. So it both means
we use it for, we use it in this way, and for develop, you said, you know, development, and so we when for example I started, I get a disease, and I started to show some symptoms. For example, a rash. We say he developed in rash.
Oh, very good. So you say they developed in rash. They use the preposition in.
Rash. Yeah.
I see.
Yes.
I see. Okay. Thanks for sharing. Thank you. Thank you. Sharon, how about you? Do you have that in your field of study?
Contract.
Yes, contraction for muscles.
For
Contraction
muscles,
and
yes.
relaxation.
Contraction and relaxation. Okay, that's good. So that's how you train your trainees, right? You say contract that muscle, now relax.
And release.
Release.
No, release.
I see. Release. Contract and release. Okay, thank you. Okay, what's next?
The next one is enlarge. It's a verb. And if
No,
you
Sharon, wait.
enlarge...
It's not enlarge. It's enlarge. We have enlarge and we have enlarge.
Enlarge.
Okay, enlarge. The stress is on the second syllable and there's no spaces. Don't say enlarge. No pause. No pause. Enlarge. The stress is on the second syllable. What does enlarge mean? There's a difference between the meaning of these. Can you see what I just typed here?
Yes.
Okay. What is the meaning?
Enlarge. Enlarge.
In large quantities, for example.
Enlarge.
Yeah.
Large amount of.
In large amounts, yes. In large amounts. But I think it has another meaning too, as part of an expression. Or maybe it was in the large. In the large. No, it's in the large. It's something else. But yeah, the pronunciation is enlarge for the verb. Enlarge, yes. And enlarge like enlarge quantities, as you said. That is correct, yes. Go on, please.
If you enlarge something, or if it enlarges,
yes,
it means it increases in size or scale.
Very good.
Next one is intentioned. Its intention is a noun, and it means a plan or a desire to do something.
Yes.
And well, intention, it means good intention. حسن نیت.
Very good. Well intentioned. Yes, very good.
The next one, nonetheless, is a formal word. It means in spite of something.
Yes.
And the synonym is nevertheless.
Yes.
Nevertheless. And the next one is drive up. It's a phrasal verb. When, for example, make the cost and the price rise quickly.
Very good. Do you remember the sentence in which we had drive up?
Yes. well-intentioned demands that nonetheless drive up costs.
Very good. Excellent. Yes. What else?
Next one is patchwork. It's a noun. Something that is made up of a lot of different things.
Yes.
But in this context, there are different agencies, companies, and all of them get together to build some buildings, and they are not the same.
Yes.
They have different policy and different
Policies. Ideas. Policies. Yes.
Idea. And the next one and the last one is inconsist. And it's
No. Sharon, it's inconsistent.
Inconsistent. Yes. It's the opposite of consistent.
Yes.
Consistent, it's an adjective, and it means when, for example, someone someone always behaves in the same way, or in the same standard. But inconsistent, it means when someone says something today, then change their ideas for tomorrow, and they say something else tomorrow.
Very good.
We use inconsistent.
Yes. Today, Shirin, today. The stress is on the second syllable. Don't say today. No, today. Okay?
Today.
No, today. Put the stress on the second syllable. Okay, very good. Okay.
But in Australian accent, you need to say to die.
To die. Oh, really? Yes. That's so horrible. Such a horrible accent. Shirin,
for the first time that I heard to die, I thought the man was saying to die more than.
Yes. Yeah, that's funny. Shirin, are you listening to the tracks? Listen to Australia? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Have you found anything strange from the tracks with the pronunciation?
Yes, I just heard them. Today I want to write word by word.
Oh, okay. So you just listen to them, not heard them. You just listen to them. Okay. Okay, that's good. Have you watched the TV series Lost? Lost. Yes, Lost.
No.
That was a series. Bezat, how about you? It was very popular some years ago.
Series, but it was about a airplane that crashed into an island.
Yes, exactly. There's one character named Claire. There's a girl from Australia, and she has a very strange Australian accent. Like for example, for pronouncing Tuesday, she says Tuesday. It's like that.
Tuesday.
Yes, just like what you said, how you said it. Yes, that was good. If you want to, Shirin, if you want to watch a series in which one character at least has an Australian accent, I recommend this one. Claire in that series has an Australian accent. Okay, so let's start today's class. We'll start with a joke. Who wants to go first?
Listen.
Okay. Would you please read the highlighted part?
Highlighted.
Do you want me to maximize it, or can you see it?
World's fastest birthday.
Yes. Yes. Go on.
When my wife turned 32, I told her not to get her hopes up.
Okay, wait. What does it mean? What is the structure in this sentence? And then tell me what it means.
When to turn to...
No, not that part, no.
I told her not to get her hopes up. Hopes up یعنی دست از چیز کشیدن. Not to get her hopes up.
Not to get your hopes up.
Not to be disappointed.
No,
No?
no. It's misguiding.
Not to...
It's misguiding. It means the exact opposite. Okay, because it's negative. Okay, to get one's hope up means to feel hopeful. Not to get one's hope up, it means not to feel hopeful. Not to be disappointed or not to be hopeful.
Yes, I got it.
Not to feel happy, yes. Okay, go on.
When my wife turned 32, I told her not to get her hopes up.
So what did he say?
After all,
Excuse me, what did he say to his wife? In your own words.
maybe he said to his wife, not to be very hopeful about the future.
Yes, or don't be very hopeful. Don't be very happy or hopeful. Okay, go on.
After all, I said, we are only going to be celebrating it for half a minute.
Okay. After all, it's an expression. What does it mean?
بعد از همه اینها.
No, it's an expression. How do you say it in Farsi? Well, technically, yes, it means that, but in Farsi, how do you translate after all?
آخر کار.
You're saying the same thing, no. Shirin, what's your opinion?
با این حال.
No, not با این حال, no.
After all, I said we're only going.
Finally?
Somehow, yes. هر چی باشه. هر چی باشه. After all, هر چی باشه. We're only going to be celebrating it for half a minute. Okay, go on, please.
Yes. When she asked what in the world I was talking about, I pointed out.
Okay, wait.
This is
wait. When she asked what in the world I was talking about, what does this mean? When she asked what in the world I was talking about.
I think the wife asked him, what the fuck are you talking about?
Say it again, please. The wife asked him what?
What the hell or what the fuck are you talking about?
Very good, yes. That's the informal way. The polite way is, what in the world are you talking about? And what is the grammatical point of this? Why do we see past continuous? What in the world I was talking about? What is this? Can you explain it?
When she asked what in the world I was talking about, I don't know. I know sometimes for, formal situation, we turn from present tense to past tense.
For formal situations? No, we don't have such a rule. We do turn from present to past, but it's not for formal situations. The reason is something else. There are two grammatical points in here. You understood the vocabulary point, that what in the world is the formal or polite way of saying what the hell or what the F, blah, blah. But what is the grammatical point? You just mentioned that his wife asked him, what the hell are you talking about? That was your sentence, right?
Yeah.
What the hell are you talking about? If you turn the sentence into past continuous, what will it be? What the hell are you talking about? Turn it to past continuous.
Past continuous. What the hell were you talking about?
Yes, what the hell were you? But in here, the order of words are not like that. What in the world I was? What is this?
I was talking about. Yes.
What is this? There are two grammatical points in here that you need to explain. We had this some sessions ago.
Yeah, he is going to say the exact quote.
No. If it was exactly that, then we would have...
No. Yeah, indirect.
Very good. Indirect what?
Indirect, چی بهش میگن؟
Sharing, what is it?
Direct.
Question.
Indirect, I don't know.
Indirect question.
Yes.
Okay. So when she asked, this is the part that comes before the main question, that turns the main question into an indirect one. If it was just a question, what are you talking about? Then it would be, what were you talking about? But because we had when she asked these three words before it, now we have indirect question. Did you understand what I said? Yes. Okay. Now there's
زمانی indirect استفاده می‌کنیم که قبلش چی اومده باشه، همون when she.
یک کلمه، یک عبارت یا یک جمله اومده باشه. هر چیزی که قبل از یه سوال بیاد تبدیلش میکنه به یک سوال غیر مستقیم، به یک indirect question. سوال مستقیم اینه که من دقیقاً از شما بپرسم What are you talking about؟ همینجوری اول حرف من اینه What are you talking about؟ اما اگه من بگم که من از شما پرسیدم What are you talking about؟ چون قبل از What are you talking about هم یه حرفی زدم What are you talking about تبدیل میشه به indirect question. مثلا I said what you were talking about. I asked you what you were talking about. این تبدیلش میکنه به indirect question و از حالت سوالی در میاد. جای فعل و فاعل عوض نمیشه. I was talking about something. این یه statement question نیست. Was I talking about این میشه سوالی. از حالت سوالی درش میاریم زمانی که indirect باشه. کی indirect میشه؟ هر وقت یک کلمه، یک عبارت یا یک جمله و حتی گاهی یک جمله سوالی قبل از یه سوالی باشه، اون سوال اولیه رو تبدیلش میکنه به indirect question. مثلا من میخوام از شما بپرسم شیرین کجاست؟ Where is شیرین؟ سوال منه.
Yes.
اما حالا یه نفر میاد حرف منو نقل میکنه، میگه آزاده said where Shireen was. آزاده asked where Shireen was.
Yes.
Okay. حالا یه اتفاق دیگه هم اینجا افتاد که شاید گیج کننده بوده براتون. اونم
که فاعل عوض شد.
آره فاعلی هم که عوض شد چون اون یو میگه بعد آی میشه. یه اتفاق دیگه از نظر گرامری افتاد. اون چیه؟
When she asked what in the world are you talking about?
Reported speech. گرامرش رو میدونید حتما. Reported speech. Reported speech. وقتی گزارش میدیم. این حالا reported speech هم هست. یه اتفاقی تو گذشته افتاد. یه حرفی و یکی گفت. حالا شما میخواید نقل قولش کنید. این آقایی که داره این جوکو میگه داره به ما میگه که همسرش بهش چی گفت. حرف خودش نیست. داره نقل قول میکنه. reported speech. نقل قوله. وقتی reported speech داشته باشیم چیکار میکنیم؟ هر زمانی و یه زمان میبریم عقب. من همین الان ازتون میپرسم Where is Shireen؟ جملم حالش ساده است. همین لحظه پرسیدم اما همین الان اگه شما میخواید reported speech کنید و به یه نفر بگید که آزاده از من پرسید شیرین کجاست؟ Hello?
Hello?
Okay, so you can hear me. پس reported speech این هست. من الان از شما میپرسم Where is Shireen؟ شیرین کجاست؟ یه جمله سوالیه زمانش هم present simple هست. حال ساده. حالا شما میخواید همین حرف من رو نقل قول کنید. ریپورتش کنید به یه نفر دیگه. reported speech. مبحث گرامریش اسمش reported speech هست و به اون شخص بگید که من چی گفتم. میخواید بگید که آزاده از من پرسید شیرین کجاست. آزاده خب بعد چی میگید؟ hello
where Shirin was.
آفرین. یه زمان میبریدش عقب.
Yes.
اگه حال سادهش میشه گذشته ساده. حال استمراری میشه گذشته استمراری. البته این قانونش کلیه، جزئیات و استثنا هم داره. اینجا همونطور که خودتون گفتید همسرش ازش پرسید What in the world are you talking about؟ خب حالا اینجا همین direct question به این دلیل که قبلش صحبت کرده و گفته که همسرم اینو گفت. همین که reported speech چون حرف یه نفر دیگر رو که همسرشه داره نقل میکنه. همین که اون you بوده و این تبدیلش کرده به I. این شاید باعث بشه یه مقداری آدم بخواد بره تو بحرش پیچیده به نظر
تبدیل به
برسه.
آی شده این چی این
این به
قانونش؟
خاطر اینکه خب داشته خودش رو میگفت، این اصلا قانون خاصی نداره. من از شما میپرسم که حالتون چطوره؟
یعنی
فارسی هم همینه. شما الان میخواید به شیرین بگید که آزاده به من گفت حال من چطوره؟ در صورتی که من از شما پرسیدم حال شما چطوره؟ خب درسته؟ بعد همین قانون اتفاقا تو انگلیسی هم هستا. یعنی یه خورده شاید باز دوباره پیچیده تر بشه، ولی صرفا برای این میگم که مطمئنم بهش فکر کنید این سوال براتون پیش میاد. مثلا من تو فارسی میگم که حالتون چطوره؟ شما میتونید الان نقل قول کنید از من بگید که آزاده پرسید حال من چطوره؟ خب اینو ریپورتد اسپیچش کنید تو فارسی. همین که عیناً حرف منو بگید آزاده از من پرسید که حالت چطوره. همینو تو انگلیسی هم داریم. یعنی اگه شما همینو با این تفاوت که شما همینو اگه مثلا می اومدید عیناً حرف همسر این آدم رو میورد میگفت که میذاشتش توی 2 تا گیومه مثل اون بالاییه که حرف خودش رو تو نقل قول گذاشت و نه تایمش رو تغییر میداد نه پرسنش رو تغییر میداد. یعنی اگه همسرش بهش گفته بود که What in the world are you talking about؟ عیناً همینو میذاشت توی گیومه، میگفت که همسرم گفت 2 نقطه گیومه باز What in the world are you talking about؟ زمانش هم همین حال استمراری، با اینکه مثلا پیروز بهش گفته گیومه بسته. این هیچ ایرادی نداشت. اما نمیخواد عیناً بیانش کنه و میخواد بگه که همسرم بهم گفت. حالا که نمیخواد عیناً حرفش رو بگه و میخواد زمانش رو تغییر بده، ریپورتش کنه، گیومه ای هم در کار نیست، همین شخصش تغییر میکنه، یوه میشه آی، هم تایمش میره عقب، حال استمراری میشه گذشته استمراری.
بله.
مبحث گرامریش reported speech هست که حالا استثناهاش میگم زیاده. فقط اگه سوال براتون که اگه عیناً همون رو میگفت چی میشد، عیناً همون میگفت هیچ ریپورتد اسپیچی در کار نبود و حتما گیومه داشتیم. اما گیومه نداریم، عیناً هم نگفته، زمان تغییر کرده، پرسن هم تغییر کرده. قبل از اینکه به آخرش برسیم, before read the last sentence, would you please go to the beginning and read it again?
Yes.
World's fastest birthday.
World's fastest birthday. When my wife turned 32, I told her not to get her hopes up. After I said, we're only going to be celebrating it for half a minute. When she asked what in the world I was talking about, I pointed out,
okay, wait,
this is your 30.
Wait. Just think about it. Okay, read it slowly, think about it. Let it sink in. When she asked what in the world I was talking about, I pointed out. Okay, now read the last. Okay, now read the last sentence, please.
This is your 32nd birthday.
Yeah. So what is the joke? Did you get the punchline?
Yes.
What does it mean?
32nd birthday اینجا معنیش میده یه birthday 30 ثانیه‌ای.
32 ثانیه‌ای. Yes, 30 ثانیه‌ای ببخشید. Yes, 30 ثانیه. Very good. 32nd birthday. Yes, very good. Excellent. Okay. Shirin, do you have any questions?
No.
Okay. So let's go to the next
این
article.
دوزاریش نیفتاد.
No? I thought you understood. Okay, so let's go back. Shirin, see? 32nd birthday. تولد همسرش تولد 32 سالگیش بوده. اگه بخواید به یکی بگید تولد 32 سالگی میشه 32nd 32مین تولدش و اینجا adjective شده.
Okay, I got it.
Okay.
The coin dropped.
The penny they say. Penny dropped. Penny dropped. اون قضیه اصلی joke. How do you say that in English? The thing that makes you laugh. We don't have it in Farsi, do we? They call it a punchline.
Maybe punchline or playing with the words.
Playing with the words is not an expression, but punchline is. Okay, when you explain the punchline, then it's not very funny. In order for you to laugh at a joke, you must understand the punchline on your own, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, the next article. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Who wants to go first? Now? No, not first. Who wants to read this one?
Me.
Okay, please. Read the title first.
Bangladesh turns 50.
Yes, 50.
From
50. No, just here.
50.
Bangladesh turns 50. What does it mean?
Bangladesh turns. Bangladesh وارد 50 سالگی.
Very good. Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. Okay, now the title.
From rags to stitches.
Yes. Stitches. Yes, stitches. From rags to stitches. What does stitch mean? Stitches is plural of stitch.
Stitch.
Yes. Bezat, you must know what stitch means. We have that in your field of study.
Rags.
No, forget about rags. Just stitch. What does stitch mean?
Stitch.
Yeah, stitch means like suture.
Suture? What's that?
Bakhiye.
Ah, I didn't know suture. Yes, bakhiye. Yes, exactly. Suture is another word for stitch. How do you spell it?
I think so.
Yeah, how do you spell it?
S-U, I think. S-U-T-U-R-E.
Ah, it's like saturate, like that. Comes from that. Suture.
No, S-U.
Okay. Okay, I didn't know that. Yes. Yes, exactly. A stitch or a row of stitches holding together the edges of a wound. Yes. Okay. Yes, you were saying? You call it what?
Suture.
Suture. Okay. Suture. Yes. Shirin, there's another meaning. Stitch has another meaning too. One is in medicine. The other meaning, the other definition of stitch is very much similar to the one in medicine. What is it?
Sewing.
Yes, very good. How do you say that in Farsi? Very good. Yes, exactly. Cook zadan. But this title, look at this title. From rags to stitches. What does rags mean? As the plural of rag, of course.
Rag. I have no idea.
Are you sure? I think you must have. Like a rag doll. Have you heard of a rag doll?
Rag doll?
Yes, rag doll.
Rag doll?
Yes, rag doll. Just typed it. You know what a doll is? Yes. Arusake what?
Arusake qadimi?
You're close, but it doesn't mean qadimi, no. A rag doll. Shirin, in the past.
Ugly?
What did you say?
Ugly?
Ugly? No, not ugly. When we were children, we didn't have so much variety in the world of toys, you know. There weren't a lot of dolls. Our parents didn't used to, buy us a lot of dolls. They used to make them, right? The grandparents would make them. With what? What would they use in order to make a doll?
With a piece of cloth.
Yeah, or rags. Those pieces of cloths were called rags. کهنه پارچه کهنه‌های پاره پاره. Rags. All right, now, from rags to stitches, this must remind you of an expression in English. Usually in titles of articles in newspapers and magazines, the writers try to be creative. They play with the words of an expression or a proverb. In here, the writer has done the same. From rags to, there's another expression in English, from rags to something else. Instead of that word, the writer used the word stitches. What is it?
Rags.
No. Doesn't it remind you of anything?
Not me.
Is it about you?
Maybe it wants to show the progression of technology and people in Bangladesh from a poor condition to a better situation.
Okay, very good.
From rags.
Very, very good. But that must be that must remind you of an expression. What is it?
Rags to rich.
Very good. So you must have heard this. Rags to riches. From rags to riches. That's the expression. Did you look it up or did you just remember this?
I think she improvised that.
Remembered that, right? You must have remembered that. You didn't make up that expression. From rags to riches. Very good. That's an expression. It means when, for example, a very poor person becomes rich one day. You go to, for example, I don't remember any rich people who were poor once, but just remember maybe Bill Gates was very poor. And when they tell the story of his life, they say that he went from rags to riches. It means that at one point in his life, he had to wear rags. He didn't have new clothes. He had to wear hand-me-downs and stuff. And now he's very rich. So the title is a play with the words of that expression, from rags not to riches, but to stitches. Can you guess what the writer means by saying this? From rags to stitches.
Maybe, maybe by doing stitches and collecting things together, they did the same things that successful people like Bill Gates had done before, from rags to riches.
Okay, you're close, but no, it doesn't mean that. In order to understand, you have to read the article. But Shirin, would you please just read the first line, the black line?
But I think it's the kenayas. They became very rich.
No. It doesn't mean that, no. No. It doesn't mean that. Okay. Would you please read the subtitle, The Country's Development?
The country's development has been remarkably fast, despite its dire politics.
Yes, very good. So the country's development has been remarkably fast. Okay, in here, development means something else. The country's development means what? Can you give me a synonym, Shirin, for development in here?
Progression.
Very good. Yes, growth. Yes, progression, improvement. The country's development has been remarkably fast. Shirin, what does it mean to say that it's been remarkably fast? What does remarkably mean here?
They develop catched eyes,
cut eyes, you mean? Catch, the past form of catch is cut. Their development, not their develop, yes. A lot. It's been remarkably fast. Very fast. It means very fast in here. Despite
Very
its
fast.
dire politics. What does this mean? You know the meaning of despite?
Despite علی رغم.
Yes. Don't translate. Don't translate. Try to think in English.
Instead of.
No, not instead
No.
of. No. Despite, you know the meaning of despite, but you said in Farsi was correct. Dire politics. Despite.
Although.
No, despite its dire politics. What does dire politics mean?
Dire politics مثلا terrible.
Very good. Yes,
Terrible.
terrible, not
Very
terrible.
bad.
Yes, very bad. Very poor. Very bad, yes.
Terrible.
It's not the only meaning of dire. Dire means something else too. What does it mean?
I guess because of the
That's very
sentence
good.
I guess.
That's very good. You deduce
But
this.
I don't know.
You, based on the context, you deduce this. Bezat, how about you? You must have read or heard the word dire as an adjective being used in other.
Yeah, dire situation.
Very good. What does it mean?
Dire situation, I have heard. The country's development has been remarkably fast despite its dire politics. Dire has a negative meaning.
Yes. What Shirin said here was correct. It means very bad. In here, it means very bad. The quality of politics in the country is very bad. Dire in here means that.
Yeah.
But
or serious.
Very good. Serious. Also serious. Not in here. In here, dire doesn't mean serious. In other contexts, like, for example, what? Can you give me an example?
For example, my patient was in a dire condition.
Very good.
Or situation. تو وضعیت خیلی وخیمی
Yes,
بود.
very good. Excellent. Or, for example, the hospital is in dire need of blood, right?
Oxygen
and blood, yes. Very good. That's very serious. This need is very real.
The hospital is in a dire
need of something. Let me type it. The hospital is in dire need of oxygen. She said it. Okay, very good. Now, the first sentence, please.
In colonial times, the eastern half of Bengal was one of the poorest parts of British India.
Yes. In colonial times. Do you know the meaning of colonial and colony?
Colonial times. Colony.
Yes, colony and colonial times. Bezat, how about you? This is not something that you can guess. You must know this.
In colonial times,
Yes.
the eastern half of Bengal was one of the poorest parts of British India. در یک دوره زمانی
colonial it's مستعمره.
Very good. Excellent. Yes, مستعمره. زمانی که تحت استعمار بریتانیا بود. Okay, a colonial country is a country which is مستعمره, which is governed by another country, by the administration of another country. Like India. India used to be a colony of the Great Britain.
The Great Britain.
Great Britain, yes. Colony means مستعمره. Colonial is the adjective. In colonial times, زمانی که مستعمرات وجود داشته. Okay? The eastern half of Bengal was one of the poorest parts of British India when India was under the rule of Britain. Okay, you understand this part, right? No problem. Okay, go on, please. The second sentence.
After independence and partition in 1947, it became one of the poorest bits of Pakistan.
Yes. After independence and partition. What does partition mean?
Yes. When a country divide into parts.
Yes, is divided into two parts. Yes, very good. Partition. We use the word partition in another context too.
Partition bandi.
Yes, very good. And also, there's another thing that we use. We even say it in Farsi. In Farsi, we call it partition too. What is it? It's very much close to what just Bezat said. Hello?
Partition?
Yes, partition.
Hello?
Yeah, I think there's a delay. In Farsi, we call it something else. I don't know if that's Farsi. I don't know where it comes from. But in Farsi, we call it paravan, right? Paravan. Do you know paravan?
Paravan.
Yes. And sometimes we call it
Yes,
partition.
yes.
Partition. So partition as a noun means that too. Okay, in 1947, it became one of the poorest bits of Pakistan, one of the poorest parts of Pakistan. All right, please read just one more sentence and then the class will be over. And?
And after it declared itself an independent country, Bangladesh in 1971, it became poorer bill as the rump of Pakistan fought.
No, fought.
A savage
Fought, not fucked. Fought. Yes.
A savage war to retain it, destroying a big share of its few assets and killing many of its best and brightest.
Okay. So, and after it declared itself an independent country, declare. What does declare mean?
Announce.
Very good. Formally announce it, yes. Declared itself an independent country, Bangladesh, that's the name of this country, the new country that after the partition. Bangladesh in 1971, it became poorer still.
Poorer still.
Yeah, what does it mean to say it became poorer still?
The situation became worse.
Became worse.
Or poorer.
Sure, it became worse. Yes, worse, not worst. Worst is the superlative form, the worst.
Worst.
Okay, very good. You can say it became even poorer instead of even poorer, yes. As the rump of Pakistan fought a savage war. What does rump mean in here?
Rump of Pakistan.
Yes, rump.
Rump. Rump of Pakistan.
A piece of Pakistan.
Very good. But what piece? Can we call any piece a rump? Can we call any piece of something a rump?
Rump of Pakistan fought a savage war to retain it. They had a fight, and Pakistan wanted to have the Bangladesh as its part.
Yes, but what does rump mean? Yes, your explanation is correct.
As the rump of Pakistan, as the rump of
Why
Pakistan.
doesn't it say as Pakistan? Why does it say as the rump of Pakistan?
I don't know.
Okay. Do you know anything about the history of the country?
No.
You just read something. It gave you a very brief history of Bangladesh, how Bangladesh became Bangladesh. What did you read in the previous sentences? How did Bangladesh become Bangladesh? No, you just read it in here. In colonial times, the eastern half of Bengal was one of the poorest parts of Britain. Okay, so, and you just read before the title, Bangladesh turns 50. So this country is a new country.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
how did Bangladesh become Bangladesh? How did Bangladesh, you know, if I say it, then you will understand. What?
Yeah. First, they were a part of another country.
Okay, what country?
But after
Very good. What country? That's the important part.
the Great Britain.
No, that's the colony of
India.
Great Britain, not a part of the country. For example, when,
India.
British India.
not India, but Pakistan. It was part of Pakistan at first, right? After the partition. We talked about after the partition. One of the poorest.
It became one of the poorest.
It became one country. An independent country.
Yes.
Okay, it's separated from Pakistan. So in here, when we read, as the rump of Pakistan fought a savage war, what does rump mean? Because you first said that it means a bit, a part of Pakistan. That is correct. But what kind of a part is called the rump?
I have no idea.
Shirin, you? Shirin, you?
The missed part of Pakistan.
Not missed, but remained. Yes, very good. Yes, the remains of Pakistan. What was left of Pakistan? What was left of Pakistan was fighting a war. The rump of Pakistan. But rump means a bit, a part that is left from a larger whole. It means that if we have a rump of something, it means that once it belonged to something that was originally at one point much bigger. So Pakistan once included the part that is called Bangladesh nowadays. So when Bangladesh declared itself independent, what was left of Pakistan was rump of Pakistan. Fought is the past form of fight. A savage war. How do you say savage in Farsi?
Savage.
What do you say?
Savage. Savage, vahshi.
Yes, wild. You could use the synonym wild too, yes. Savage war to retain.
Brutal.
What did you say?
Brutal war.
Yes, very good. Thank you. Yes, brutal, savage. Yes. Destroying a big share of its few assets and killing many of its best and brightest. Can you explain the grammatical points about destroying? Why do we have destroying in here? Why does it get ing? And why did this start?
Yes. I think it's a reduced clause.
Very good. What sort of it?
It's savage war to eliminate it, destroying a big share of its few assets.
A story about the past.
It's about the past.
Was destroying.
Yeah, of course it was. It is about the past. But what is the grammatical point? Bezat said that it's a reduced clause. Yes, it is a reduced clause. But what sort of it? What type of reduced clause is this?
When destroyed a big share of its few assets.
It's not when destroyed.
When it was destroying.
No, not with new subject. No.
It was like this. Many of its best and brightest assets were destroyed by a big.
No, don't change the sentence. No, don't change the sentence. It's not one of those reduced clauses. I'll just give you a hint. It's a participle clause. The participle clauses are either present participle or perfect participle. Do you remember the grammar for that?
Not exactly.
No? Okay, so at the end of chapter 15 of Grammar for IELTS. Okay, so I want you, Shirin, you to think about this. Think about destroying and why it's destroying him here and what was the original sentence, and tell me next session. Okay? Okay. So next session we'll have a review. It will be a short one, of course, and then we'll work on the rest of this article and maybe another one too. Okay? Okay. Thank you very much, and see you next session on Wednesday.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Bye
Good day. Bye bye.